access to this life-changing and life-saving treatment. Thank you.
Sir Mike Penning.
Can I say for our colleague in the House, what a moving speech it was. And that sort of personal input is exactly what, if we can, this is all about. Madam Speaker, Madam Chair, I came into politics to help. I don't have a single constituent that I know of that is benefiting from a prescription on medical cannabis. But that doesn't make it any less important that I campaign on behalf of the group. And my colleague who followed me as co-chair, when I stepped down as co-chair, his speech, I couldn't disagree with a single word, and the most coherent speech on the subject I've heard in a long time.
Hear, hear.
It's by the way I sat there with the minister who's sitting now. And when I stood up in 2015, as the Home Office Minister responsible for drug policy in government, I made a speech when I said the government was minded to allow the prescribed medical use of cannabis. I stood there. I didn't do that because I just thought I'd say it for the sake of it. I said it because the then Home Secretary gave me permission to do so. The Honourable Lady, Right Honourable Lady from Maidenhead, went on to be the Prime Minister. And one of the reasons that Alfie got his medication and that the Cornwall Families campaign was so successful in the province is because the Prime Minister picked it up and she said, we're going to do something about this. And the reason the Home Secretary was able to change the law in 2018 is for that reason. And I would say to all colleagues, and anybody listening to this, this is not about rolling a cannabis joint. It's not about reforming drug law in this country. This is about a group of children, some of them have clicked over into adulthood now, who may well not be here today if it was for some very, very brave consultants turning their back on what the profession was telling them to do and to do what was right for those children. And they've come under enormous pressure not to sign these prescriptions. When we did the legislation, we were very careful to make sure it wasn't just a GP that would grant it. We didn't want to get into the opioid situation where opioids are prescribed, I wouldn't say willy-nilly because that's unfair to say, but we know the pandemic problem we have with opioids. We specifically said it had to be a specialist that the GP could refer the child to, and then it was for the specialist to decide. And there are a few that have been brave enough to do so. But sadly, as my honourable friend alluded to, and as the parents were telling us only yesterday when they were here lobbying colleagues, some of those consultants are retiring. And some of those that want to prescribe it are too frightened because they're going to be referred to their professional body, and if they do prescribe it, their employer are refusing to honour the prescription. And I thought we had an NHS in this country that was free at the point of delivery if an NHS prescription was issued. And frankly, that is not the case. Politicians in this room, I've got no notes, Madam Chair. I don't need to. I've been in this chamber so many times discussing this, and in the main chamber, and we'll be there tomorrow. The politicians get it. The Secretary of State's get it. The Minister will get it. The medical profession, parts of it, that do not get that they are responsible for keeping these young children alive, and they need to get off their butts and do so.